That's Sutton. I'm Simply. And this is the Purple Rain Podcast. Thank you for coming through to episode 198. Yes, 198 episodes of this lovely, jubbly podcast. The Tony Siragusa episode, first and foremost, rest in peace. Brandon Williams, Travis Jones, and one Anthony Weaver, who is the assistant head coach for the Baltimore Ravens. That number holds some weight, number 98. I'll tell you that right now. But
sure does.
Thank you all for coming through to this episode of the Purple Rain Podcast. But first and foremost, I do have to say thank you guys for absolutely crushing the likes last stream.
Yeah,
it was like 121 last time I checked, bro. 121, doubled it, and then some. How the kids got dessert, got a couple of scoops of ice cream. That's how good likes were. But thank you all for coming through. You can follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast, and on that story, there's a poll for if you were to win a jersey. Who would you want to have on the back of that jersey? What number? What player? That's all I really can say. You can vote on that. Go and follow us. Yeah. You can follow this guy on Instagram, on Twitter, at SuttonDef. You can follow me on Instagram at simplyas10.prod and on Twitter at simplyas10. And most importantly, our sponsor, Manscaped. Thank you for supporting us, Manscaped. And if you go in there, get something for a loved one in your life, go in there, use code PRP for 20% off and free shipping. But Sutton, it is a Friday Eve. It's Steelers week. How are we feeling?
Feeling good. Like you said, it is Steelers week. It's a Friday Eve coming up on a holiday weekend. So that's always good. Man, I mean, like we just talked about before we got on air, man, I'm going to share it with the Rain Gang too. I fully expect this game against the Steelers to come down to the wire. I just do. We're going to get into all the logistics of why that might be, but it's going to be a tough one on Sunday, and I'm looking forward to it. Also looking forward to breaking it down with Alex and the Rain Gang here. Let's go ahead and bring up who's in the live chat. We got Mod K-Dog per usual coming through. It says hashtag replay gang, sending the purple hearts. We appreciate that. Make sure you guys go ahead and like the video. Like the video. If not for anybody, like it for K-Dog. K-Dog he's our number one supporter by far. So we appreciate him. But we're going to do a 5 second of silence for K-Dog and like the video. Ready, go. All right. So hopefully you've liked the video by now. If you haven't, maybe consider liking the video. If you have, thank you so much. And that was also a dedication to a Purple Rain pioneer himself, Mod K-Dog. He also says, yo, what's good, Rain Gang? Family on this Friday Eve before our first Squealers game. Yeah, we're going to get into it. You guys already know. We're going to get into it. Raven Ron in the house as well says, what up, PRP? Schittsburg week. Must win. Stanley, OBJ, and Bateman mount up. Man, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. We're getting some guys back.
Collect our Infinity Stone with these players, man, coming back.
This is a very important episode for another one of our moderators, Boz. Mod Boz, as you guys know, is a Steelers fan. This is a Ravens channel, Ravens show. So this is going to be an interesting episode to see what input he has on his Steelers going up against our Ravens this week.
Yeah.
Let me see. Pretty Boy Suave says, guys, I'm going to miss it tonight at work, but I have y'all on replay. Next time I got the kids with some McChickens. We appreciate that, Suave.
Thank you.
We appreciate you, bro. We really do. Kareem in the house says that Arsenal jersey is tough. Too bad Spurs are actually good this year.
I'm not moved by old Tottenham yet. They got gifted a win. So it's crazy. We talked about referees. Last weekend it was soccer. They scored a goal, Liverpool, for playing Tottenham, and it was onside. And they have a thing called video assistant referee. It's kind of like a challenge, but it's not. And the referee said, yeah, go ahead. Like, the goal stands. And it got lost in translation. They canceled the goal out. It was a perfectly well goal, and they lost 2-1. Liverpool did. So a lot of backlash with the referees over the
that
pond.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. Like
that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, when you have sports that pour this much money, you know what I mean? Like, just get the call right. It's not that hard. Get the call right.
Like, each team is given over $100 million, 100 million pounds, like, at the season, to buy new players. So that's That's $2 billion right there in revenue that they just have for these teams, and you still get like these referee calls wrong. It's crazy. Like even with technology, yeah. Especially with like
absolutely
refs last week with the Chiefs and Jets game, still get it wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that was a kind of ticky-tack holding call on one Sauce Gardner at the end of that game. I still thought it was kind of holding. You know, I see why they do the flag. It was kind of one of those things, you know what I mean? Like the Zay Flowers against the Colts linebacker sort of thing. It's like kind of bang just a little bit. Yes, I'm making that comparison. You guys might hate me for it. I don't care.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Let's go ahead and get into some ball talk, man. Sponsored by Manscaped. We got the Purple Rain preview. Listen, as you guys already know, we lead off the Purple Rain preview with the health report led by our guy Simply AS10. So, Alex, let us know, break it down. Who's healthy, who's not for the Ravens and the Steelers?
All right, well, I'm going to look at our good old friends down there, the Steelers first. James Daniels, Freiermuth, and their punter, Presley Harvin, did not practice. I'm going to presume all of them to be out. I know Freiermuth is out a couple of weeks, so he's not playing. I believe they called up their punter from a practice squad, so Harvin's not playing. Alex Highsmith showing up as a DMP. That is something I'll be keeping my eyes on. Opposite of TJ Watt. Got that big contract in the offseason. Cole Holcomb full, DeMarvin Leal limited. Dan Moore didn't practice, so their line's a little banged up. But I'm looking right now is at Kenny Pickett. And when he got hurt last week, people were like, oh, he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. Could be a season. No, he's going to play Sunday. Yeah. Their QB1 will be out there, ready to go, strapped up. So we'll have Lamar versus Pickett finally. Look at the Ravens, though.
Yeah.
The only players not to practice today, Odafe Owe and Darrell Worley. Owe hasn't played in the past couple of games. I don't even know if he's going to play again, you know. I know he's on IR yet, but something to keep my eye on. But I'm looking at Rashad Bateman, Odell Beckham Jr., Marlon Humphrey, Ronnie Stanley, Morgan Moses.
Listen.
And Marcus Williams as well. Full.
Yeah.
All these
full
guys.
Practice from Marcus Williams. Let's just take a second. We thought that Marcus Williams' season might be over. Now here he is, week 5, getting ready to suit up against the Steelers. This couple weeks later. I mean, that's amazing. But continue.
No, I mean, that's really and Ronnie Stanley, full both going against TJ Watt, a premier edge rusher. It's not going to be Patrick McCarry at left tackle.
Yeah. I mean, but we know that TJ Watt normally lines up on that right side. So I think that Morgan Moses, if he's not playing and it's going to be Daniel Fa'alele there, that might cause some problems. There might be some issues there. What were you gonna say? Go ahead.
My bold take: Morgan Moses is not missing. He's not missing this game. It's not happening.
I hope not.
If I could bet money, I'd bet money that Morgan Moses is gonna play. He's never missed a game in his career. Knock on wood. He's gonna play.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Dealing with a shoulder right now, but I mean,
and Keaton Mitchell, he's back.
He's in the title.
Marlo, limited. I'm sorry. It's fun times right now to be here.
Yeah, and honestly, you bring up Marlon Humphrey, a great point. Our secondary has actually been performing relatively well without him. You know, we've seen big plays being made by guys like Geno Stone, guys like Brandon Stevens, Rock Ya-Sin. You know what I mean? Guys who weren't supposed to be the ones stepping up and making plays up until this point. So inserting a Marlon Humphrey back into that secondary room is going to be paramount for the success of our defense. I really do think it is. Mike McDonald's doing a wonderful job making more happen with less, and he's getting more pieces back now in the form of course, star cornerback Marlon Humphrey. Just excited to see what he can do when he really gets back into the swing of things. So, you know, I think it's going to be might take him a game or two to really get back to true Marlon Humphrey form that we know him to be, right? So we got to be patient with that. But once he does get back to that form and that status, I think we can definitely expect him to, you know, go back to the Marlon Humphrey of old and just shutting down the other team's best receiver. So it's looking really good. The I-word report right now. I'm so sorry. I mean, knock on wood. I take that back. I knocked on wood. What do you want me to do? I knocked on wood. Let me see. So other things that we have on the health report right now, I see Odell Beckham Jr. still limited at practice. Still, you know, it's good that he's working his way back. You know, definitely don't want to rush him back if anybody. But Keaton Mitchell like we talked about, man, could this be the first week that we see some Keaton Mitchell action coming out of our backfield? What do you think?
I don't think so yet. 21-day window opened up. We got Gus, Justice, and Melvin Gordon.
So you're saying we unleash him in London?
I mean, we do have the Lions as well. Could be London. It could be. I'm not sure. I mean, personally, I think you can run against this Steelers defense. They're missing Cam Hayward still. I mean, they're banged up, obviously, with Highsmith, missing practice today.
Yeah. I think whether or not we see Keaton Mitchell in London or against the Lions is fully dependent upon how well Justice Hill performs in this game. Justice Hill, Melvin Gordon, guys like that.
And my hot take, Keaton Mitchell probably isn't even hurt anymore, honestly. Like, they put him on the 4-game IR, or the IR just, they have him on the roster and then call somebody else up. It's just the Ravens playing roster gymnastics.
Yeah, that's literally all it is. I mean, put him on IR, even though he didn't necessarily need to sit out 4 weeks. It would have been, or it was advantageous for the Ravens to do so, considering, we needed some more guys on the active roster. But yeah, I mean, Keaton Mitchell, it seems like it's right around the corner. We're not gonna, sing his praises way too early and get our hopes up sky high for an undrafted rookie. But we've seen what he can do in the preseason. We know his skill set, and he's got burst. He's got speed, man. I mean, and what do we know about this Ravens offense? It's pretty damn fast. It's pretty damn fast. You got Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers. I mean, just those two right there. Insert a Keaton Mitchell. Yeah, makes it super dangerous. But overall, yeah, I mean, just to kind of wrap it up about the health report, and I want to bring up you guys' comments on screen too. But it looks like the Ravens are getting healthier, which is good, which is very, very good. The Steelers are going to be a physical game. It's going to be a physical game. So, expect the unexpected, whatever that may look like. But it's looking good right now in terms of our overall health, as opposed to where we stood a couple weeks ago. So definitely want to bring up what you guys are saying here in the chat about these I words. Let me see.
Like the video if you haven't already.
Oh yes, please like the video. Please like the video. Tanja says, why don't we ever block TJ Watt like we do Myles Garrett?
Yeah, the Ravens did a lot to block Myles Garrett last week. I saw Huddle Up Films his video, like the many different ways we tried to stop him, whether it be throwing the opposite side, rolling out away from him, quick passes, just double teaming.
Right.
I wonder if we'll do it with TJ Watt, because it feels like TJ Watt, like he always has a sack against us. Fumble. Yeah. He always just wrecks havoc. We don't have an answer for him, unfortunately. So hopefully, I do have an answer for him this time, especially with them missing guys up front. But he's gonna get a sack. Just accept it. It's gonna happen. Let's just make sure it's not detrimental.
Absolutely. And then just kind of looking at the other side with Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett, he did practice in full today, so he will play on Sunday. But he was wearing a knee brace. Wearing a knee brace. He said that he's going to take it off for the game, but I think that's going to force him to be less mobile than he already is, which is going to bode well for our defense and our pass rush. It's going to make it a lot easier on those guys, because Kenny Pickett, he's the type of quarterback where it's like almost like he wants to get flushed out of the pocket. It's almost like he's more comfortable extending the play and then trying to throw the ball on the run than hanging in there in the pocket and delivering a throw. So the fact that ability of his is going to be hindered, I think it's just going to be, man. I really feel sorry for Matt Canada. Matt Canada has been the scapegoat this whole time, and I think it's going to get worse on Sunday, especially if Steelers come out there and maybe 1 or 2 3-and-outs to start the game. Knocking on wood, because again, expect the unexpected in matchups like this. But man, the Boo Birds are going to be there. It's going to be in Pittsburgh at Acrisure Stadium. They are going to let him know loud and clear that they do not want him within their franchise. Yeah. But,
I mean, that's getting a little toxic over there in Pittsburgh, and I would like to make them 1-4. There we go. All
right, let's go ahead and move on to the official Purple Rain preview. You guys can see the numbers, the matchup breakdown here between the Ravens and the Steelers. We got 4 weeks of games, so we got a pretty decent sample size now as opposed to the last couple weeks. Ravens, as you guys can see, passing yards a game sitting at 198, rushing for 151. And in terms of yards allowed, passing yards allowed 168 and rushing yards allowed 92. And then total points per game is going to be around 24.8. And then points per game allowed is 14.5. Then looking over at the Steelers side, passing yards a game 205, rush yards a game 78, passing yards allowed 254, and rushing yards allowed 148 a game. Not very Steelers-like. Points per game 15.5, and points per game allowed 25. So the Steelers not having the season that they might have hoped or expected to have thus far. But Alex, I always got to ask you, looking at these numbers, what can you take away in terms of what are the keys to victory for the Ravens to win?
Well, hard-nosed, smash-mouth Ravens football. Great defense and running the ball. I mean, they're allowing 148 rushing yards a game. Think about that.
Yeah.
And the Texans, they played the Browns, who Nick Chubb wasn't there. Played the Niners, McCaffrey, fantastic. And then who else did they lose to? Who am I missing? That was 3 out of the 4. Missing somebody else. But the Niners right there, I mean, that really, really crushed them. And you have Gus, Lamar, Justice, and hell, even Melvin Gordon last week was doing his thing. If you can run over this defense, we can make it a long day for them. A very long day. And I'm also going to look at their points per game. 15. That is a fireable offense. Oh, Raiders.
Yeah.
That is a fireable offense. Like, there's no way that they should even. Yeah. Matt Canada has got to go if I'm a Steeler fan, but yeah.
Yeah. Man, I mean, what really hops out to me on this page, man, is, like you said, the rush yards allowed per game. Knowing the type of football team we are, I think we're going to run the football down their throats. That's just going to be the type of game it is. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game, and you guys will get my official score prediction here in just a few minutes. But lower scoring game, I think it's going to be tight still. I think it's still going to be tight because the Steelers, it's something about that rivalry. You just can't get blowouts don't happen. You know what I mean? So, like, I just know that shit's going to happen throughout the game. Positive things for the Ravens, positive things for the Steelers. And by the time fourth quarter comes, so around 3:45 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday, I'm going to be on the edge of my seat. I just know that. You know what I mean? But I do think that the Ravens will be able to impose their game plan of running the football on them. And I also think, again, like I said, I think since Kenny Pickett is hobbled, and we know he's hobbled, go after him. Get after him. You know what I mean? Like, he can't extend the play like he normally would. So get after that guy and really rattle him early. And I think the rest will just follow suit. I really do.
Yeah. Can I double down real quick on,
Sure.
It doesn't matter who's playing, whether it's Duck Hodges, Mason Rudolph, Mitchell Trubisky, Kenny Pickett, Lamar Jackson, RG3, Tyler Huntley, Trace McSorley, Ben Roethlisberger. These games, Joe Flacco, Brian Mallett, rest in peace. These games are close. No matter who is the quarterback, who is on the field, like, the games are close, whether it's first string, second string, third string.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
like you said, blowouts don't happen.
Blowouts do not happen. You're absolutely right about that. And if you don't believe us, I mean, just take a look at this next slide here. The last 10 matchups, the Ravens and Steelers. I mean, they've been very, very close. Very tight, man. I got the receipts, man. So last time we played them, 3-point difference. I mean, 2-point difference, 3-point difference, 1-point difference, just kind of going down the line here. 5-point difference. It's crazy how close these games always are. It's wild. It's really wild to see. So let's go ahead and get into our score predictions, shall we, for this game. Based off of what you see here, this can kind of help you make an accurate score prediction for this game. I'm going to go first.
Okay.
I got the Ravens winning this game. Full disclosure. Okay. Ravens W. I think it's going to be mad close. I think it's going to be 21-19. I think that's going to be the final score of this game. But let me know what you guys think in the live chat. Make sure you drop your score predictions. If you're not part of the live, you're part of the hashtag replay gang. Thank you so much for joining this episode of the Purple Rain Podcast 198. Make sure you leave your score prediction down below in the comment section. We would greatly appreciate that. All right, so what's your score prediction for this one?
My score prediction is Ravens winning 23-17. I think it sounds like a Ravens-Steelers score. I think they'll kick a field goal. You know, they have a chance to put the drive away, and they'll end up settling for 3. Steelers have the ball back, and then we stop them, or we get a pick or something like that, and we win 23-17. Let's give it to me.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I kind of got it going a similar way, to be honest with you. It's going to be back and forth kind of until the end. Yeah, I got 21-19. You got what you said, 23-17, right? Yeah, mad close. Very close game. I want to see what you guys are saying here. Kareem Shebeka says 24-14 Ravens. Okay, 10-point game.
I would
like that. Yeah, a nice 10-point game against the Steelers. That's acceptable. I don't think the national media or anybody for that matter is expecting us to blow out the Steelers. Hell, they don't expect it to be a
the Browns
either way. Yeah.
Did you hear anything about the Ravens and the Browns this week?
Not really.
Nope.
A lot of radio silence.
Of course you did.
Yeah. See, now you know what I'm talking about when I say I want these people to sing our praises, because you know what? When we lose, they're all over TV, all over media, talking about how bad the Ravens are, how the offense still looks the same, this and that, you know. But when we win, it's just like, oh, it's just another Ravens W. You know, it's nothing too crazy. But yeah, Yolanda B says 24-17 Ravens, very similar to Alex's prediction. Jalen says 24-13. 28-14 coming from JD Killswitch Ravens. Okay, I would love to double them up. I would love to double up on the Steelers, man. That'd be awesome. Boz himself, the Steelers fan himself, says 20-17 Ravens. The terrorist fired. Now listen, let's talk about this for a second. Do you think that it is at all possible that the Steelers will fire offensive coordinator Matt Canada? I'm thinking about our guy. Will the Steelers fire Matt Canada mid-season?
I think they should. Will Mike Tomlin do it?
No, he won't.
I don't think he will. I saw something. It was like Mike Tomlin the past couple of years, like he's a good head coach, but if you look at what he's done recently, man, like the same reasons why I was upset with Harbaugh, if I was a Steelers fan, I'd be upset with Mike Tomlin. Underwhelming. Like it's like just above average, like literally just above. They got to the playoffs. They lost to the Jaguars and Blake Bortles, or their games they won. They won one against the Chiefs, like just field goals. You know, like they lost to Baker Mayfield and the Browns in 2020 after they started off 11-0. You know, like it's not looking good for him. But at the same time, it's like if Mike Tomlin were to get fired, which it won't happen, he'll be scooped up immediately. But there's definitely the Steelers got to do some soul searching, because I think there's a good team under there, but they are being held back 100%.
Yeah, I don't think that Tomlin is necessarily the problem. Now his complacency, that might be a little bit of an issue, but is he the root of the problem? I don't really subscribe to that. You know, I think that it is Matt Canada. I think that it is the fact that the offensive line has not really come together yet. And I think it's also Kenny Pickett not making the reads he needs to make, you know, because it's not like Kenny Pickett has no time to throw. I mean, he's got about an average time to throw in terms of, you know, compared to the other quarterbacks in the league. It's just he's not getting it done. And Pickens is not making those contested catches like he was before. So, I mean,
can we talk about your tweet that I absolutely loved the other day about George Pickens?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So can you just remind everybody like what you said?
No, I said it's very weird and annoying seeing Ravens fans on Twitter like pretty much just straight fangirling over George Pickens because they're so dissatisfied with the draft picks that we had, and, you know, Ojabo and maybe some other guys too. It's just like, bro, first of all, we have a Zay Flowers who, if you're not thankful for what he's already put on tape already, then I don't know what to tell you as a fan. You know what I mean? And then second of all, George Pickens is a whole Steeler. He's a Pittsburgh Steeler. Like, why are we still, you know, raving about, oh, we could have had this guy. Like, he's a Steeler. Get over it. It's over. You know, that's just me. Because I see a lot of Ravens fans doing that. You know, it's kind of like hinting to the fact that, oh, we passed up on Pickens for Ojabo. Bad move. It's like, okay, I get it. But
yeah, I mean, I look at it.
Not a world beater.
Yeah, I mean, if we had him last year, can you imagine what would have happened in a Greg Roman offense?
Yeah.
Like, there would have been drama on the sidelines. He probably would have been in Harbaugh's doghouse. How he could have been traded, you know, by this point. You don't even know, like, the way Harbaugh is. And as Ravens fans, like, I believe that he wasn't even never going to get picked by us as well because of the off the field, on the field, the fighting and stuff. So, yeah. I mean, hopefully Ojabo turns into a good player, but yeah.
That is the hope.
Hindsight's 2020. I mean, I would have. If we're talking about picks, I mean, we could have gotten a lineman in that second round pick, and who knows what would happen? You know, could have had even sure line, could have had brand new Kevin Zeitler's replacement. I'm not too sure, but I like that tweet. So.
I appreciate that. Let's see. Max Office says 27-10 Ravens. Justice Hill breaks a long house call. I mean, he's calling a shot right there. Max is. I mean, you know, Max got his ear to the streets, so that might happen. That might actually happen. So, yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Love West says all Pickens' best plays are out of bounds.
I mean, he's hell of a talent, but just
hell of a talent. Just they haven't connected this year. The connection's just not there. Chike with our first super chat donation of the episode. Thank you so much for making it rain here in episode 198 of the Purple Rain podcast. Making it rain here with the 2P says thoughts on Randy Gregory getting cut from Denver. Yeah, I heard about that. What did you make of Randy Gregory getting cut?
I'm not sure how he got a 5-year, $70 million deal when I looked at his stats.
Yeah.
I looked, I'm like, well, maybe the Ravens could, maybe be interesting. I look, he has like 19.5 career sacks. I'm like, bro, TJ Watt got that in literally a year. He got more than that in a year. Like, no, thank you. I'm not, no, thank you. And apparently he just was getting outshined by younger guys, and no, thank you. I mean, that's
on top of health concerns, which we already deal with.
Yeah, no, thank you. But yeah, that was surprising to me. Very surprising.
Yeah. Thank you for your super chat donation, Chike. We really do appreciate that.
I mean, and then JC Jackson got traded as well from the Chargers.
Yes, he did. Back to the Patriots. Yeah, he's going home sweet home. Patriots really going through it, man. I tweeted this last night. The Patriots fans are really paying their dues right now. It's bad. It is bad. Judon got hurt. Christian Gonzalez is down. It's bad.
They have them 6 rings. Sheesh.
Yeah, they got 6 rings. They'll be all right. They can suffer for a few more seasons at least.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's go ahead and get into our next segment, right?
Okay.
Which is going to be our pick segment.
Oh,
you guys know we do this every single week. We pick every single game from this week in the NFL. This week is no different. So let's go ahead and bring up how we did last week, as you guys already know we're going to do. So last week was actually pretty good. It was pretty damn good. I picked at 69%. Simply's pick percentage was 63%. I think the only game we were different on, which is why you were lower here, was you picked the Patriots to beat.
I picked the Patriots. And I was watching that game. I'm like, I am an absolute idiot. I'm like, why did I actually why did I believe that? Yeah, like Zeke is actually going to be good. Why did I think like? And I'm just watching. I'm like, I put my faith in Michael McCorkle-Jones, Mac Jones. I'm like, yeah, that was a smart idea. I was an idiotic of me. I am sorry. Do not take anything I say seriously. That was awful. Jeez.
Yeah, I had the Cowboys all the way in that one, man. I mean, the Patriots. They just. It's you want to believe that like they're gonna be that team that's just always good because they have Bill Belichick, you know what I mean? There's that lineage there, but it's just not. Ever since Brady, I mean, they have been largely ass. There's just no other way to slice it. They've been ass, and the Cowboys really exposed them. Now, what I'll say about the Cowboys is they had another dominant win in front running fashion, and what I mean by that is lots of scoop and scores, turnovers, things like that. But the offense still is just not there. I mean, their number one receiver against the Patriots was Jake Ferguson. A lot of you guys probably don't know who Jake Ferguson is, but he's one of their tight ends. Had the most targets, led the team in targets. Yeah. It's just offense is not all the way there yet, I don't think. But anyways, I think it's time for us to go ahead and get into some picks for this week. So I will go ahead and cue up the music.
Oh my God. You're the goosebumps. We're here.
Let's go.
Thursday night. The Bears and Commanders. I would have liked to go to this game, honestly. I have work in the AM. At FedEx Field in Landover, the 0-4 Bears coming in against the Commanders. I'll start off. I like Sam Howell. I like Scary Terry. I like Jahan Dotson. I like you, Asmodeus, for the McChickens. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, bro.
Give me the Commanders.
Yeah, I'm going with the Commanders too. As you guys know, Commanders is my second team. Yeah, I just think that their defense is better right now. Their offense, they have more to offer. I like Sam Howell. I like what I've seen from him. I mean, kind of going toe-to-toe with the Eagles last week told me all I need to know. All I need to know.
I mean, there's Terry McLaurin foot in from possibly winning that game as well.
Yeah, so. Chase Young is playing really well again. I think Brian Robinson is going to have himself a game tonight. Yeah, give me Commanders.
Like that. Moving on, going over the pond at an absolutely awful Tottenham Stadium, the Jaguars and the Bills. The Bills shut me up last week. I had the Dolphins winning that game. I like the Bills in this game. The Jaguars, they beat the Falcons, but I feel like they could have done more. The Bills, on the other hand, they just didn't stop. They gave it to the Dolphins. Give me the Bills in this one.
Yeah, I'll take the Bills too. They really look like world beaters right now. They are not taking no for an answer, like in any aspect of the game right now. So yeah, I'll go with the Bills.
And now the Saints and the Patriots, two underwhelming teams. The Saints offense cannot get it together. They need to look and see what's going on with their offense, and the Patriots just are not good either. It's kind of like the battle of mid, and I'm going to go with the Saints in this one.
After what the Patriots put on tape last week and how I think Mac Jones is done there. I don't think that he can make it there. I don't think he'll make it through the season. So yeah, give me the Saints, man.
Like that. And now here's two teams I really don't know: the Titans and the Colts. Titans won 27-3 last week, and the Colts came back against the Rams and almost beat them. It's in Indianapolis. I guess Colts. Actually, no, I'm gonna go Titans. They had a better win, I'd say, than the Colts. The loss. Yeah, give me the Titans, I guess. I don't know about this. I'm just going with the Titans.
Yeah, this one is rough for sure, but I'm gonna go with the Colts. I think their run defense will be good enough to hold the Titans off, and they're at home too, right? Colts are at home.
Yes.
Yeah, give me the Colts in this one. Maybe a close one, maybe not, but either way, I got the Colts.
All right, Ravens Steelers. We both have the Ravens.
Yeah.
We're going to the Panthers and the Lions in Detroit. Who do you got?
Panthers, Lions. In Detroit, give me the Lions. Yeah, they're playing really well right now. You guys already know the deal with the Lions. Dan Campbell, Jared Goff. I love him. He loves them. We got the Lions.
It's like, you know me. Moving on. The Texans and the Falcons in Atlanta. I like the Texans. CJ Stroud has honestly blew me out the water. Better than I thought he would be. The Falcons didn't do much last week. I like the Texans in this one.
You know, I can't really say CJ Stroud has blown me out of the water. I think he's just done a lot better than what's expected from what a rookie quarterback, normally would do. But yeah, with that being said, the Falcons, they look like ass. They're just bad. So yeah, give me the Texans in this one. I like their defense too, Houston.
I don't trust Ohio State quarterbacks. That's my thing. That's why he's blowing me out the water. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, true. That's fair.
Yeah. Next up, the Giants and the Dolphins. Like, really, are we gonna? I like the Dolphins. The Giants have shown me nothing.
Yeah, give me the Dolphins and Tyreek Hill to have 200 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns.
Wow. Speaking of, moving on, the Bengals and the Cardinals. I don't know who either of these teams are. Joe Burrow isn't 100%. Jamar Chase is out there getting pissed off in the locker room. Josh Dobbs is out here actually playing better than I expected, but still, losing. I want to say the Bengals. I'm gonna say the Bengals. But I feel like this is a game where the Cardinals will somehow win, and then we're just like, wow, like the Bengals are now 1-4. What's going on?
Yeah. Give me the Bengals in this one. I don't necessarily think that the Cardinals have a trump card that's similar to Derrick Henry. That's going to do what he did to the Bengals last week, and the Bengals are going to be playing with a lot of pride. I mean, their season is on the line at this point. Season's on the line. Can't lose too many more games and expect to make the playoffs, especially in the AFC North.
Yeah, big time.
Give me the Bengals.
Nice. Next up, the Eagles and the Rams. Tell you what, the Rams have honestly surprised me. I thought they were not going to be this good,
Don't do it.
2-2. I'm
not
going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
The Eagles are the second best team in the league behind the Niners. I like the Eagles, even if it's in LA. I like the Eagles.
Yeah, give me the Eagles in this one. Philly all the way.
Jets and the Broncos, the team of the Joe Flacco former, the bowl, the Joe Flacco former team bowl.
Right.
I really don't know about this one. I think the Broncos, obviously, they're not good. And just give me the Jets, I guess. Zach Wilson showed me something last week. He has to win this game, right?
Give me the Jets. Yeah, I'll take the Jets in this one too. I think that we're agreeing on a lot of these picks first. Just want to say that. But I think that the Jets will win this one because the Broncos defense is trash. And also because they're not going to be putting Breece Hall on a pitch count anymore. I think this is the game that he finally gets off. So give me the Jets.
Nice. Next up, a game I think is going to be pretty damn good. The Chiefs and the Vikings. Justin Jefferson going against that defense. Byron Murphy from the Vikings says he's going to be trash talking Travis Kelce about who. I love that. You know what? Am I going to fall in the Vikings trap? I'm not. I like the Chiefs. I like the Chiefs in this one. I think they'll pull it out. I think it'll be a close game, though.
Oh, see, Mod Rush is claiming a Vikings upset. That's interesting, to say the least. I mean, all I ask, I don't care who wins this game. I just want this game to come down to the fourth quarter. That's what I want it to come down to. I want to see big plays being forced to Justin Jefferson, being forced out of Patrick Mahomes. I want to see a good game, like an electric game. So yeah, but I'll still take the Chiefs though. Chiefs all the way.
I think this one is the game of the week. Sunday Night Football, an old rivalry from the 90s renewed.
Oh yeah.
Cowboys and the Niners. You used to have Aikman, Steve Young, Montana, Bryce, Irvin, Emmitt Smith. But now you have Purdy and Prescott. Talk about an upgrade, am I right? Yeah.
I know, right? Shit.
Give me the Niners, though. I think they're the best team in the league by far. Their defense just balls out. Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, Javon Hargrave, who they somehow got from the Eagles. And then the offense, run CMC, can do it all. Kittle, Debo, Ayuk's their best receiver this year. Purdy's not making mistakes. I like the Niners.
I love the Niners in this one, to be honest with you. I think that this is the game where they really humble the Cowboys. I mean, a lot of people might have thought that the Cardinals humbled the Cowboys, but they didn't. They didn't. I guarantee you Cowboys fans are looking at that loss like it was a fluke. I know they are. I know Cowboys fans. But I think that this is the week that the 49ers really put them in their place. And more importantly, Alex, I want to see the matchup between Micah Parsons and Trent Williams. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. That's going to be crazy to see. But yeah, give me the 49ers.
I love that. And moving on to our final game of the week. Packers, Raiders, Devontae Adams against his former team. I don't even think Jimmy G's practiced yet. So with Aiden O'Connell again against Jordan Love, who's making these primetime games? This is kind of a toss-up, but I guess I'll go Packers, I guess. Although I do want to see Devontae ball out and Josh Jacobs, but the Raiders are in turmoil right now. Their owner is awful. Their head coach is awful. Just blow them up, I guess. Should never moved up to Vegas. I don't really know. But yeah, give me the Packers.
I was going to say the same thing in this one. I'm going to go with the Packers too. I like what they have going on in Green Bay right now. I mean, it's going to take some time for it to all fully develop into something real. And by real, I mean like an actual playoff contending team. But man, the Raiders it's kind of a mess in Vegas right now, as it normally is. So yeah, give me the Packers.
And that is our Week 5 NFL picks. Thank you all for coming through. Wow. Love it. Love the picks time. Love the music. It gets me amped up.
Every time. Yeah, I mean, that one was a little bit shorter than ones in week past.
Bye week started.
We're getting into the bye weeks. Yep, bye weeks are starting now. So, yeah, we're trudging along through this season. But, of course, make sure you tune in to next week's episode to see how we did on those picks. I think we actually picked every game the same this week. I think it's like getting to that. No? Which one did we differ on?
We differed on the... We differed on one of them. I know for a fact we differed on one of them. It was Titans-Colts.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, that's definitely a game I'll be watching for sure. So he was right on that one. Because I think that the Colts can pull that one out. I really do. Let me see. Tyler Brown in the house. What's going on? Tyler says, "Yo, fellas, just got in, but I'm hitting the rewind and we'll catch up to y'all later. Love the show. Can't wait to hear what y'all discuss. I'm so pumped for Sunday." Thank you, Tyler.
We love you. Thank you.
Yeah, we love you. Yeah.
So coming up this week, actually, different sport. Got the MLB playoffs. All right. Yep. The Orioles just found out they're playing the Texas Rangers. I would have preferred to play the Tampa Bay Rays because, we've seen them 13 times this year already. But I know, you watched a little bit of baseball as well. How are you feeling about the Orioles? You feeling good about the playoffs or?
I'm feeling good about the playoffs because this is my first time in a while actually following the Orioles. And, hey, we happen to be in the playoffs now. And that's pretty cool to see. So, I went to the game last week. And like I said before, I didn't really get to see any of the star players or the starters play like that. But I will definitely be tuning in. Playoff baseball, a little bit different than just regular season baseball. You know what I mean? As the same thing with like basketball, NBA, I could say the same thing. It's just a little bit different atmosphere, different environment, and I love to see it. So I'll be tuning in. When's the first game again?
Saturday
at 1 p.m. Optimistic O's fans is on it. Be there or be square.
Then Sunday, here's how my Sunday's look. All right, 11:30 a.m. I have Arsenal playing the best team in the league, Manchester City. 1 o'clock, I have the Ravens Steelers. Then 4:05, it's the Orioles and the Rangers game 2. This hard.
Wait, what time is the Arsenal game gonna go off?
11:30 a.m.
Oh, it goes
it's
off.
It's gonna go into the Ravens game. So I'm gonna have to split screen it. Yes.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be stressed.
I Sunday, if all of my teams could somehow pull it off, man, I'm gonna be jumping for joy on Monday. Not expecting it, but my biggest thing, man, if the Orioles can really pull these two wins off in Baltimore, and they go to Texas next Tuesday and go for the sweep. Because something that us fans right now, I can speak for us, we haven't experienced a World Series, our age.
Right.
So yeah. I couldn't imagine the Orioles winning a World Series and going to the parade.
I would go to the parade if they won the World Series.
You will see me there with two big beer cans in my hand. Oh my goodness.
For sure. Let's go O's. Let's go O's.
Yes.
Okay. Now go ahead and drop your questions down below in the chat. Any questions you might have from the Rain Gang. If you're not watching this live and you're part of the hashtag Replay Gang, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you leave your questions down below in the comment section because we do get back to those as well. Okay. So you guys know what we got to do. We got to bring up status report on the Fantasy League as we do every week. Fantasy League is looking good so far. I am in 4th place. I jumped up 3 spots after a W last week. Alex is down at number 9. Actually jumped up a spot from number 10. So that's good. Me and him are both sitting at 2-2 at 500 even. Then we've still got Mod Rush, who's at the top of the leaderboard. Number 1, who goes by the name of Mother Tucker, 3-1. Just coming off of a loss though.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's
Rush. I totally forgot. Rush. The Terps, they play Ohio State this on Saturday too. Talk about a weekend. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man.
I totally forgot about college football. Dude, it's gonna be an absolutely packed weekend.
It's gonna be a crazy weekend. All right. Let's go ahead and get into some questions here while you guys can check out the leaderboards there. K-Dog says Grant Dawson versus Bobby Green. Oh, yeah, we got to get into the Purple Rain parlays, too. We'll end it with that. So make sure you stick around for the Purple Rain parlay. Grant Dawson versus Bobby Green. Talk to me, Sutton. Who do you like? So it's a UFC matchup coming up this weekend, this Saturday night. Honestly, in this one, I am going to go with Bobby Green. And it's very hard for me to say that because I like what Grant Dawson has to offer, especially on the ground. But his striking is not all that. And his cardio is a bit of a question, too. So I feel like if Bobby Green can catch him early, weaken him throughout the rest of the fight, or maybe put him away early, then, yeah, I got Bobby Green in this one.
It's funny you bring up UFC because my eyes are on October 21st.
Yeah. That's Oliveira and Makhachev.
Yeah. And that one's gonna be an early one as well. They kind of throw me off. I think it's the card starts at 2 p.m.
So is it in Dubai or Fight Island? Yeah.
They always throw me off.
It's Russians versus Brazilians, so that does not surprise me. Yeah, that's gonna be a good ass card. I mean, and to think, I think the co-main on that card is Hamzat Shemaya versus Paulo Costa. Jeez,
Yes.
Louise. Oh my gosh, that is going to be a scrap to say the least. Like, I'm fine with not even seeing Oliveira Makachev too. Actually, no, I'm not. That's gonna be amazing. but Paulo Costa and Hamzat Shemaev, man, that is going to be crazy, absolutely mad. Just if you're not familiar with those two guys, go and look up their fight highlights. They're both killers, absolute killers. But yeah.
I mean, the next couple, I'm looking at the schedule. 295 is John Jones and Stipe Miocic, and Alex Pereira in the co-main. And 296 is Leon Edwards against Colby Covington. Wow.
Yeah, and that Alex Pereira, he's fighting Yuri Prohashka, I want to say. And that's going to be a crazy fight too. I mean, Yuri Prohashka, the story for that, I mean, Yuri Prohashka was the champion about a year and a half ago. Then he got hurt and relinquished the belt, willingly relinquished it. And then basically now they're fighting for the belt again. And Alex Pereira's kind of climbed to the top of the leaderboards in that division, in that weight class. So it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top in that fight. Both of those guys, again, absolute dogs, killers, man. Make sure you tune into those fights. Engineering Design says Tyson versus Ngannou. Who you got? This one's a no-brainer for me. It's gonna be Tyson Fury. He's gonna take care of Francis Ngannou pretty easily. I mean, it's a boxing match. It's the same thing that we got with Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. Like, we're really trying to speculate and do all these mental gymnastics to try to convince ourselves that the guy who is 0-0 in professional boxing is going to beat one of the greatest of all time in boxing. It's just not going to happen. It's a spectacle. I'll be watching, that's for sure. I love Francis Ngannou. I love Tyson Fury. But I know what this fight is, and I know what it isn't. It's not going to be competitive. It's going to be one-sided. Give me Tyson Fury.
Yeah, speaking of this, like, is Conor even, like, going to fight again? I remember he was supposed to. Like, is this going to happen?
Yeah. He's going to fight again. I mean, Dana said that he's looking for him to fight Michael Chandler early 2024. The only reason he couldn't fight in, this year is because he missed the deadline for USADA, which is like the drug testing agency for the UFC. He missed the deadline to get back into the testing pool for the year. So he has to wait until 2024. So, but he is going to fight though. He will fight.
Okay.
Probably like maybe once or twice more. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know what was going on with all that.
Yeah.
And did you see about Sean O'Malley called out Gervonta Davis as well?
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, Sean O'Malley, I like Sean O'Malley. Don't love him. You know what I mean? Okay. Like, he's a good fighter, but I think that there are a lot of guys in his division who could take him out. He doesn't really seem like he's going to be a long-lasting champion, at least not to me. Now, when it comes to him versus Gervonta Davis, I mean, again, are we talking about in a boxing match? If it's in a boxing match, Sean O'Malley stands no chance. If it's in the octagon, Gervonta stands no chance. That's all there is to it, really. Yeah.
Just fighting is like a man's soap opera with all these storylines and like on acts and everything, dude. It's insane. I see Raven Ron says R.I.P. Dick Butkus. Wow. Rest in peace to a GOAT, a legend. Bear.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Playing for him tonight now.
Wow. Yeah, rest in peace. Rest in peace to Dick Butkus. Was not aware of that news. Okay, let's take this question from Raven Ron. It says, by the trade deadline, will Ravens pick up an edge rusher like Jason Pierre-Paul, Daniil Hunter, or possibly a Chase Young? Definitely not going to be a Chase Young.
Yeah, no Chase Young. Daniil Hunter for a fifth. EDC, work your magic.
I mean, hey, if we beat the Steelers and we start off 3-0 in the division, and then we go to London and we beat the Titans, right? And then let's say we come back home and we beat the Lions at the bank. I think that at that point we'd be what, like 6-1, something like that. If we won all three of those games, 6-1, clearly making a playoff push and trying to make a deep playoff push at that. You would kind of have to make a move to shore up the roster to get it to where it really needs to be to contend for a championship, right? You have to.
Now,
leave no stone unturned.
Now, EDC wants to pull a back-to-back. Brian Burns. Getting Brian Burns, not saying it's the exact same. It's 2 levels below bringing in Roquan Smith. But he will provide you that spark on the edge. Like that right there would get me Roquan Smith levels excited. but it wouldn't be like, we're not getting the best edge rusher in the league, but we're getting a damn good one.
Yeah.
It just kind of, I mean, the Panthers are pretty, they're in right now. They're sold on their team. So I don't know if they'll let them go, but I would love them.
And whoever we get, whether that be Daniil Hunter or a Brian Burns, they are going to be motivated to play for this team. Kind of like how I feel even a Kyle Van Noy is. I mean, he even had a couple good plays in his first start with the Ravens,
Yep.
The Ravens are a place you can go, especially as a defensive player. You can go there and really thrive because they really pour into that side of the football. We've seen that historically. I mean, we've seen it as recently as last year, like you said, when we went and got Roquan Smith. That says something right there. Get another a premier defensive player to really be that anchor and get a mid-season too. Ravens love their defensive guys, man. So whoever we bring in, I think will fare well in this system. But I do think that we need to bring somebody extra in. Yeah.
I mean, you look at our offense, like where would you improve this offense right now? The line looks like it's all healthy. The receivers were just getting healthier. Oh, guess what? We had Laquan Treadwell. Didn't have a catch last week, but it's nice to have somebody, a former first rounder of his caliber, on our practice squad that can come up. Hell, we just got Eric Tomlinson back as a different type of a blocking tight end. Or if we want to run into you, we can bring him up from the practice squad. We have Keaton Mitchell coming back now. We have Kenyon Drake still in the practice. Like, there's the offense right now, they say healthy. We're looking good. Just the defense, that hole right there is edge rusher. Everything else is looking peachy keen.
And edge rusher is, like we always talk about, is one of those premier positions on a football team. Is, edge rusher, quarterback, left tackle. You pretty much have to have 2 out of the 3 if you want to contend for a Super Bowl, if you want to contend for a championship. Right now we have the quarterback and we have the left tackle as well, kind of tentatively. But we don't have the edge rusher. So once we get the edge rusher, I feel like we will be complete. But I do stand by that. I think that you do need at least 2 out of the 3. 2 out of those 3 positions need to be solid, very, very solid, if you want any chance at contending for a championship.
And then I see Rush brings up talking about, Burns could be a long shot. EDC has brought in some players to make big impacts that he can bring for a great value, like in Marcus Peters. I'm not saying it'll happen. If the Raiders keep losing, I think he could be available. I'm not saying we go and get him again, but if there's a corner out there that's a vet that is solid, I wouldn't mind trading a pick for him. You can't have enough corners in this league, especially when you see, we have the Dolphins we're going to have to probably see, the Chiefs, the Bills, we got the Bengals. I don't care if Burrow's on 100%. He still has Jamar. T Higgins will be back. Tyler Boyd. It's a passing league. We got the Jaguars. We got to see it later in the year. They have a pretty good receiving core. The Chargers we'll have to see. I'm not against getting another cornerback as well, honestly. But I would prefer an edge rusher first, but I wouldn't hate if you got me a solid defensive back.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't hate that at all. Didn't Marcus Peters like a tweet saying that McDaniel should be fired?
Yep.
Interesting. That's funny. Okay, let's go ahead, leave the questions there. Let's get into our Purple Rain Parlay to kind of close this episode out. This is becoming one of our favorite segments. I mean, definitely me. For sure. I think we've hit on something at least every week, every time we've done it.
Last week, the Matt Breida under hit on Monday. Just want to unfortunately, Geno Smith got hurt, and that ruined the 3-leg that me and Sutton cooked up after the game. That stream. That sucks.
Yeah. He missed like the whole second quarter, I think, or at least like a good portion.
Yeah. See, I don't think I'm betting one tonight. I think I'm going to take the night off because I don't like the game, but I do have a couple of plays I really do like. I like Terry McLaurin over 4.5 receptions. I like the over on Sam Howell passing yards too. The Bears don't really have a good defense. Sam Howell plays, better at home. And he plays better when he's going to have time. Their pass rush doesn't really scare me. So those are my 2 plays. Over Sam Howell and over 4.5 receptions for Scary Terry.
I'm going to go my 2 plays for tonight's game. I'm going to go the over on Brian Robinson rushing yards, which I think is set at about like 65.5, something like that. I think that the Commanders will be running the ball a good amount in this one, especially considering that the Bears offense really struggles at times. I feel like this is going to be one of those games where they do struggle. And for that reason, I think that the Washington Commanders will be playing with the lead, which means they'll be running the ball, which means Brian Robinson will have plenty of opportunities to hit that mark. So give me Brian Robinson over on rushing yards, but also give me Cole Kmet over on the receptions. So I think his reception line is at like 3.5 right now or something like that. I think he's going to get 4 catches. He's proven to be one of the best targets for Justin Fields. And as we all know, tight ends are the ultimate security blanket. You know, they're big bodies, big targets. A lot of times they can find themselves open in a zone. Give me Cole Kmet over 3.5 catches tonight.
I like that. I like that a lot. I'm looking at the past couple of games for a certain Justin Fields. So he's ran for 25, 47, 3, and 59. I don't think he's going to be able to run for over 40 against this Commanders defense. I really don't.
I don't think so either. No.
I would definitely be wary about the Justin Fields rushing guards because Chase Young and Montez Sweat aren't. I mean, they used to be teammates, Chase Young and Justin Fields at Ohio State. And that Commanders D-line is ferocious. So just don't get fooled. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, and watch out for Jamin Davis as well, the linebacker for Commanders.
Oh, yeah.
I like him too. So, yeah, like you said, be very wary, be very cautious, proceed with caution if you are going to bet on Justin Fields over on the rushing yards. I thought about it. I wanted to dabble in it, but then I was like, nah. 40 yards, maybe it was like 25 then maybe, right?
25 I like. 40.
Yeah. 40, nah. Unless we're seeing like a lot of designed runs, you know?
Right.
But yeah, that's going to be the Purple Rain parlay for this episode. Hopefully those hit. If they do, you guys know we'll be back to pat ourselves on the back, right? Give ourselves some love there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Again, you can follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain podcast, just like you see down below. There's actually a poll. There's a poll up right now on our story. So if you don't follow us on Instagram, go on Instagram right now. Stop what you're doing. Go on Instagram, type in at the Purple Rain podcast. If you don't follow us already, hit the follow button and vote on the poll. We are doing a jersey giveaway for episode 200. Full disclosure. So make sure you go on Instagram and vote on that poll, man. Yeah, you guys see it. You see it. You see the jerseys right there. You see the ones that are candidates. That's Odell Beckham Jr. That's Lamar Jackson. That's Zay Flowers. And that's Rashad Bateman. So go ahead and vote for who you want a jersey of. And yeah, we're going to be doing that giveaway on episode 200. So you got to make sure you're subscribed to the channel, of course. Liking the videos. Follow both of us on our Twitter and Instagram at Sutton Death, at Simply as Sin. I'm going to bring that up on the screen in just a second. And Boz just says it right here. Just like the video or the kids don't eat. Straight up, right? Like the video. Okay. Yeah. And then, yeah, you can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at Sutton Death, like you see down below. Follow this guy over here on Twitter at SimplyAS10, Instagram at SimplyAS10.prod. And then, again, our sponsor, Manscaped. You can go on manscaped.com, get yourself any of their lovely products, and save yourself some money, too. You can use our code PRP. It's going to get you 20% off, plus free international shipping. Again, I want to thank you guys for coming out to this episode of the show. 2 more episodes until 200. So thank you guys for rocking out with us, you know, up until this point and to infinity and beyond. We really do appreciate you guys. And with that being said, I'm going to let my guy Alex take us out.
Thank you so much to everybody that came through, watched this episode. We love you. We appreciate you. I hope all of our teams win this weekend. And as always, stay positive, test negative.
And never, ever, ever forget, even on the rainiest of days, to call God. This has been episode 198 of the Purple Rain podcast. We're going to catch you guys